Alrighty, we are live. So anybody who is tuning in during the replay, please consider, subscribing, liking, and subscribing, or any combination in there of. So I'm just gonna shuffle my keyboard, and hopefully I don't need my keyboard for the duration of this. I'm not looking to stream for long because a friend is running a stream in about less than a half hour, 25 minutes, not even 15 minutes, 17 minutes from now, I must end. All right, so we got some sandpaper, we have a sharpening stone, we have some brass rods, which actually came in this plastic case. And so these here are brass rods of varying thicknesses. I previously bought a bunch of like 1mm or half millimeter brass rods. Whoops. And it was for this right here. I kind of just staked in some of the antennas just to see what would happen. I wasn't expecting much, but essentially I'm able to basically heat these brass rods up on a stove and stab them in, and I haven't obsessively straightened them out. They get bent, especially when I hung them on the crocodile clips, but I decided not to mess with these until I'm ready to finalize it, and then when I'm near finalization, then I can really painstakingly straighten these out. But no sense in getting metal fatigue early. But we did the three on the front, which I basically have to snip them to be the same length, but the basic idea is that you'll have three of these things, two of them flaring out to the side, and this is roughly consistent with what we would expect from the ship. We have some coverage issues with the paint. I left some areas gap empty on purpose so I could basically put, some customization in there for machines and whatnot. But generally speaking, the color is close enough. It's not perfect, but it's pretty close to the color of this type of ship. This is the Hyperion. And we see the printer did a good job on the back. Now, here's my conundrum now. This is the next largest size up we can print. This is, I think about 24 and a half millimeters. Centimeters in vertical length. So it's 24 and a half centimeters, which is longer than this aft section in my left hand or your right side. Now, here's the caveat. To print it any larger than this, we looked into it, and, well, by we, I looked into it. I don't know why I'm talking like Schmiegel lately. But, yeah, so we're going to just put that in the middle there. So, I found out a cool trick in Cura where you're able to essentially, as long as only one side is below the bed, as opposed to above the top of the cube, it will slice it for you. It will, render it, or, basically slicing, meaning that it'll look at the 3D and convert it into layers for the 3D printer. And it did. So essentially, normally you'd get this like striped pattern if it was too big. Now we get this pattern here. So the instructions I saw basically said to do this. That part made sense. And I remember there was something in the directions the guy says you got to export it, which wasn't happening. I'm clicking the save to disk button right now and nothing is happening. Although there is an export option in the menu up here. So we'll try export, and well, surprise, surprise, nothing's happening. So I got to play with that a bit. But the general idea is my goal is to cut this roughly in half and print it from this side standing up, and print the other side with the bottom facing flat, because flat surfaces tend to always start off, get off to a nice start. Heck, I could even, I wouldn't really want to slice the bottom in half because there's some nice curvy shapes that I don't want to disrupt. Whereas on the front, we have enough straight lines that we can obfuscate any slicing. I'm not confident that I can obfuscate me slicing any of this in half. So we're gonna leave that alone. Okay, just double checking some of things here. I think we're going to change the category of this to science and technology. Oh, and I got to pick a thumbnail. I got to do that too. Oh, bummer. I forgot to do that. I need to like sit down and just make thumbnails. Make a bunch of thumbnails for these videos. Here we are. Okay, good. I got my... Okay, that's better. Yeah, so basically, I may have to exit and reopen the application. I wasn't trying to do that. But what do I have to lose? You know what? Before I do that, let's open up a new instance because I'd rather do that. Now, I gotta say, I've upgraded to the new version of Cura, version 5 point something, and it's been a little weird. It's been a little weird because, at least on my AMD computer, I expect it to do some funny business, but this one on my good desktop, I expected better from it. And, I mean, it works faster on a modern computer. Now, it should be noted that if we print it like this right now, it'll take 2 days to print it. And, we're not even talking about this side. That's why I don't want to attempt to print it unless I can export it in this form. And surprise, surprise. Not surprisingly, at least not after what I've been experiencing, for some reason, Cura did not load. It did not load. So, I mean, I can kill it. Wasn't trying to kill Cura, but whatever, I guess I'll do it because what choice do I have right now? Well, I don't have to kill it twice. I can close this instance. Because what I need to do is be able to export this half, and then I need to be able to export the bottom half without, you know, messing it up, basically. Because I'm worried that if I start printing half of it, I won't be able to precisely print the other half without running into some weird issue. That is among the top of my list of concerns. So let's see, we're going to try opening Cura fresh. In the meantime, our goal is to do some adjusting here, like... We know this one is smaller than this one, but this is still a pretty good one. We still got to finish it. We got to sand it and paint it further. Light sanding, but mostly painting. So that's all good. But these ships here are part of the same ship, right? You can see we have the front and the back. In fact, we can do this. We can go. It would be something like that. It looks like an alien life form kind of like got hold of the ship. But they're supposed to go together something like this. Once we remove the raft. In fact, wait a second. Whoops. Uh-oh. I'm mixing up my starships here. As a matter of fact, I did separate part of the ship from its raft already. And I think it's this half over here. But I'm kind of hoping that the print over here is the same size, or they're not the same size. Okay. So, that's okay. So, okay, this one here, I'm trying to remember what order I did this in now. I think this one here goes with this. No, not quite. Okay, I'm mixing up parts now. I just had a, I believe there's one more ship laying around here somewhere. There it is. Got an old graphics card in my way. Okay. Here it is. This is actually the front half. It's a little bit larger than the one I just held in my hand. This one came out a little better as well. You know, minor imperfections, but nothing catastrophic. I mean, generally speaking, I'm seeing right now that as you print them larger, you tend to get better results with these poking, these antenna-like pieces and whatnot. But I did have some issues that will basically necessitate a gentle touch and some putty, because this piece, if I try to rip it off anymore, I'll probably peel away a big chunk of that layer. I mean, these holes came out perfect. These are antenna sockets, basically. So these are actually looking like actual places that you can shove an antenna in. So it looks like this does, you know, give us more options the larger we print it. That's something for sure. Of course, before we paint it, you know, we gotta peel it apart. There we go. So we got these pieces here called the tree supports. And you can see right here. Now these tree supports are different because I actually have infill, basically material to give them more structural integrity. So we have that, and then we just peel away the bottom, and when we peel away the bottom, you'll see that we have more support, more infill. Once again, infill, internal, you know, structure. Oh, that piece came off nice. This piece, I peeled it away, and it pretty much came off pretty nice. Oh, well, that's not so good though. So we have the support pattern here for the overhang, this little, you know, waffle pattern. But we can see the bottom here, it could be worse. It's not perfect by any measure. In fact, there's a lot of weirdness going on there. But I think I could sand it down sufficiently, although it didn't come out as nicely as I'd like it to. Now this area here, I don't foresee any issue. See, that on the other hand came off real smooth, right? What about this? There's an overhang coming up, right? Oh wow, look at that. I tore that up and it still stayed in one piece. But see, this part was stubborn on the earlier builds as well. And so, you know, the question becomes, if I print this out standing up, well, if I print it out standing up, see, this is where things get tricky, because I don't know how I would print this part facing down. I mean, if I cut this into all four sides, yeah, I could print every piece separately and glue it together probably. But I do like the solidity, the solidness of this. You know, just that you get some of these parts that are more stubborn than the rest, and they need varying levels of attention. So, you know, that's my big challenge. What we're looking at here is, Mr. Gap, is the flagship Hyperion from Legend of the Galactic Heroes. I even got a cloaking device installed on this one. Okay, not really. It's kind of blue-green. So if you look up Legend of the Galactic Heroes, this is Yang Wen Li's flagship, and it's larger than a generic battleship. And you know, it's got this like blue-green color to it, which I had to figure out with enamel paint how to mix blue, green, and white to get this shade, which is close, not perfect, but it's closer than I would have dreamed of. So I mean, it's a start. I put only some of the antennas in just to kind of see if they can be put in. And yeah, these brass rods, these are just brass rods. I have a whole bag of brass rods here, right? They do fit. You know, you just heat them up on the stove or use a cigarette lighter or some torch, and you could definitely stab them in there. And we got about 2 minutes left here, not even. I'm about to wrap up. In fact, I should wrap up now because Floral from Under a Rock is about to be on. And, you know, in honor of Punk Waddle and Floral, I'm going to cease my stream so that I don't steal ratings from them, because, you know, I mean, people always coming in here in droves, right? Nah, jokes aside, though, I don't even want to steal one viewer from them today. I mean, it wouldn't really be stealing, but, you know, I also watch the show, so why would I do my own show while watching them? Oh yeah, no doubt, man. Nothing too interesting happened, but I appreciate that. Hey, as long as I get a like, we left this part patchy here. But bottom line is these are hot off the printer presses, and this is the next largest size up. You can see it's a bit larger than the back half of the ship is a bit larger than the one we have already. And I want to print it even larger, but I just ran into a problem with the software. And I'm going to be messing with that during Floral Show because this program has refused to pop up, even though, I'm not surprised, but there's an issue with this program. There is, and I thought it was only limited to my old computer, but it looks like this program doesn't like my new computer either. Although, maybe an update fixed it. There's always an update, right? So anyway, with that being said, I'm going to prepare for watching Mr. Under a Rock. Mr. Gap After Dark, thank you very much for tuning in. You have a wonderful evening, and I may stream later on. But in any case, I hope you enjoy what you're seeing here today. And with that being said, to anybody else who watches on the replay, please like and subscribe. If you have any questions, comments, or ideas, please leave a comment. And for now, we shall end transmission.